to this whopper of a Woman Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tabacco. Market is raging today. Before we get into the wonderful Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch for you, let's take a look down the street at the New York Stock Exchange. After some losses yesterday, a little bit of those coronavirus fears seem to have subsided, and the Dow is up 140 points. You know, I've been talking to you every week about 29,000 being a new key support level. We're staying above there, which is a good sign for the market, good sign for your portfolio. And I think if some of these coronavirus fears subside, the fear, fright, and hysteria will be gone, and the markets will begin to move even higher. I think 30,000 is on the near horizon. We were almost there right about when the coronavirus came out, so we'll keep our eye on that. Wonderful show for you today. We got all kinds of women guests. We got a great mix it up for you today. Bitcoin broke through 10,000 last week. For those of you who have a little Bitcoin in your portfolio, broke through 10,000, couldn't hold it, dropped back down to 92, 9,300. But again, with the China fears and some money trying to get out of Asia, the preferred way to get money across borders these days is cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin seems to be on the rebound here at 10,200. There's a big event coming up in May where the fees that people get paid for mining and verifying these transactions will get cut in half. Many think that could cause a big drop in Bitcoin. Others think there could be a huge run here, so keep your eye on it. I think with the right set of factors and the coronavirus stuff out there, you could see Bitcoin as high as 15,000. Now, on Women Wednesday, we try to bring you a different perspective, and we have women on every single day of the week, but we try to have more women on Wednesday so that you can get the woman's perspective on a whole bunch of things, and we have a great lineup for you today. First, joining us today is Kelly Ridler-Sadler. She's a former special assistant to Donald Trump. And Tracy Beans was on yesterday. We did an unbelievable segment on Andrew McCabe and what really happened. She's going to be back with us with more nuggets of information on why there's a cover-up going on at the FBI. And Joy Villa, famous songstress, artist, and creator of many great things, including a movement for Donald Trump, which you don't see often out of entertainers. She wears these great Trump dresses to all the award show. Joy Villa is going to be joining us in hour two. Zen Sam's actress and producer and supermom will be here to talk about the Harvey Weinstein trial. Hillary Kramer joins us to talk about your portfolio. And then Pavlina Osta is going to be here a little later to wrap it up and give us the woman's youthful perspective. But I sure love Wednesday. You should too. We got a whopper of a show for you today. But as you know, every morning when I get up, I get my juices flowing by watching Morning Joe on MSNBC. And the lamestream media gets my juices going. I call Morning Joe Morning Joke because it's a joke how they twist the news every single day. And you know, everyone's now the rallying cry is that Trump inherited the Obama economy and things are so good. Former Treasury official Steve Ratner, disgraced Treasury official, might I add, he got himself in some deep trouble, but it got brushed under the rug. Now he's a contributor to MSNBC, and they look at him as some kind of authority on this stuff. Apparently, they disclosed today also that he manages Mike Bloomberg's money for him, or some portion of it. So strange that he would be on as an expert, but here we go. On Morning Joke this morning, Steve Ratner was there to justify how this is Obama's economy and how Obama created all these jobs and all this other stuff. Take a look how they were tricking you this morning.
I had a good run at it yesterday, and I wanted just to start with that tweet that you put up yesterday and then pivot from there. And I just want to focus on the parts highlighted in yellow where he says that he now has the best jobs ever. And so if we take a look at his actual jobs record, what you will see, in fact, that not only does he not have the best jobs record ever, he does not have the best jobs record, including even President Obama. If you look at job creation under Obama since the recovery began in the fall of 2010, Obama created 201,000 jobs a month. If you look at what Trump has done in his first 3 years, he's created 182,000 jobs a month.
I'm looking at these charts that come from Donald Trump's government statistics, his own administration. And this is saying that Barack Obama did 10% better on jobs than Donald Trump?
Yes. Guess what? Morning joke. Those were from Donald Trump's Bureau of Labor and Statistics. But I don't know if you caught it there. You see what they did there? See what they did? It was tricky, okay? They showed you a chart that took an average of all the monthly job growth from Obama, but probably didn't catch it by eye. Started in 2010. Barack Obama took office in 2008. So, morning joke, let's take a look at Donald Trump's charts from his own Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And lo and behold, if you take a look there, 2008, that's when the red lines start going down. You hadn't seen that since 2001, right after 9/11, and they went down pretty darn far. So you see that, right? Everybody can see that. That's 2008 to 2010. And from there, I think Business Insider, which is a resource that I use a lot to get some financial news, if you take his first 2 years, where he shed millions and millions of jobs, and you include that in his average, not from 2010 when things started looking good, from the beginning, just like we're taking Trump from the beginning, you go back to 2008, I think Business Insider said it best. If you take a look at this, Obama tried stemming those job losses early on in his term. The economy started stabilizing. They soon turned into gains, and he averaged around 109,000 jobs created every month for 8 years. So now let's go back and remember on the Morning Joe clip, they said that Obama had 200,001 jobs and Trump only had 182,000 jobs. Turns out Obama averaged 109,000 and Trump's averaging, by their own math, 180,000. So Trump's got Obama beat by 80%. So it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but there's more. And we're talking about Obama and how great his economy is and all that other stuff. Those are lies. And all over the left-wing media now, they're talking about, oh, Trump is getting involved in the Department of Justice now, and he's letting his friends out of jail and all. Okay. Let's take a look at what Barack Obama did when Barack Obama was the president of the United States. By the way, he pardoned or commuted the sentence of approximately 2,000 folks in his time in office, okay, with a flurry of 331 on his last day in office. Included in there are Chelsea Manning, a traitor, someone who gave our military secrets to WikiLeaks. But this one's really bothering me, okay? Because we had Joe Connor on the show. They're talking about maybe Roger Stone getting a, Rudy Giuliani was talking about yesterday how Bernie Kerik deserved it, Rod Blagojevich, he was on The Apprentice, blah, blah, blah. Nonviolent crimes, all nonviolent crimes. Oscar Lopez was one of the people who Obama pardoned, okay? Can we put up the Oscar Lopez greatest hits, please? Okay. Oscar Lopez was a member of the FALN. He was sentenced in 1981 to 55 years of prison, seditious conspiracy, use of force to commit robbery, interstate transportation of firearms, conspiracy to transport explosives with the intent to destroy government property, and an additional 15 years thrown on top for an attempted escape from prison in 1988. So he was serving approximately 70 years. And this one hits home for me because when they're talking about Trump pardoning Rod Blagojevich, Barack Obama pardoned Chelsea Manning, who was known to give away our government military secrets to WikiLeaks. He let her out of jail. So that's not favorable to the U.S. in my book. But we had Joe Connor on this show, okay? And Joe Connor, his dad was one of the victims of Oscar Lopez, working down here in the financial district, out to lunch with a couple of his coworkers, and they were at Francis Tavern. This guy, Oscar Lopez, and his crew, they took credit for over 120 bombings, so they would kill Americans left and right. And their bombing, FALN claimed responsibility for more than 120 bombings between 1974 and 1983. And Oscar Lopez was the leader of that group. They were they were fighting for Puerto Rican independence from America. Not the greatest fight, if you ask me. But so Trump gives out some pardons, commutes the sentences of some white-collar criminals, some administrative crimes. Everyone's screaming and yelling. Barack Obama pardoned 2,000 people. He let out a traitor, and he let out someone who murdered Americans, a terrorist. He let him out of jail. So put that in your pipe and smoke it when you're thinking about what Donald Trump's doing compared to Barack Obama. Trump crushes him on the jobs front, 180,000 to an average of 109,000, and so far, no contest. We'll find out today what happens with Roger Stone. The Weinstein jury is also been charged, from what I understand. As soon as they got in the room yesterday, they came back with like a 4-part question for the judge. So may get tricky. May even I'm going to come down on the side of a hung jury because I don't think they're going to be able to convict him. Doesn't make him any less the creep, but I don't think he's guilty on this one. We have a tremendous show for you today on this Woman Wednesday. Jaden Horn and David Eisenbach will be here for my favorite segment where they mix it up. Jaden's over there in the saloon getting ready to go up head-to-head against David Eisenbach. And it's usually David and Johnny Burnett, but Burnett's not here. So we had to bring in another heavy hitter to take him on. Jaden Horn and David Eisenbach will mix it up on Liquid Lunch right after this.